What is going on and good evening. I think I finally got it all set up, man. We're ready to go. It is midnight, so it is actually November 5th. So I want to thank you guys for being here. If you guys are even watching, man, there's probably nobody going to be watching, which is why I decided to set everything up at this time so that I can make my mistakes and say hello to maybe some people who can't sleep and it's just looking to hear my sexy voice. Anyways, man, I did since I've got some free time. I've got um, I'm getting a lot done with my websites, with my merchandise store, which is going to be Righteous at righteous.com. We just got a lot going on, and the reason that I'm able to get so much done is because I'm kind of stuck. I'm in this pause button environment waiting to start my new career with this new company. And it sucks because you when you do something and you get a taste for what you could be doing and where you could be at, and then you have to make a strategic decision that in the long run will better you and your family, but in the in the short run, with your short term um, process, it's going to cause you to struggle a little, and that's kind of where we're at because, I joined on board with a company that is going to allow me to. It's going to make it easier for me at my age to be in the trucking business. They're going to be providing a lot of very thorough and detailed training, which is what I wanted more than anything else. Because if I'm going to do this as a career, I want to be good at what I do, and they're the and then on top of that, they're still willing to pay me a new person once I'm done with training, like I've been in the business for years. I know some people that are with other companies like Werner and a Swift and a Knight Transportation who are basically making somewhere between 60, maybe $80,000 a year. Whereas with me and this new company that I'm with, I have the potential to make over $100,000 my very first year, and I'm still home on a weekly basis. Maybe not as much as someone who's more local, but especially in my first year and possibly even longer, I hope so. It's gonna be. I really believe that this is gonna be the best company that I could possibly work for under the circumstances. And then, of course, there's always this streaming stuff. You get enough support. I'm not looking for support from political donors and political sponsorships and things like that. But it would be nice to be able to, sell some T-shirts, be it because people enjoy the community, or to get support from people who enjoy the content and they want to see more of it, and they don't want to see someone like me, which will never happen, by the way, but don't want to see someone like me get bought out for my opinions moving forward, which a lot of these influencers, I believe, in my opinion, have been. I've seen so many changes with people when they first started their stream, and they were very. They tried, they had their biases based on their political beliefs, but you could still kind of tell that their opinions were their own, and they weren't afraid to agree or to disagree with any side. And then all of a sudden, they start to become popular, and I don't think it's a coincidence that at the same time they're becoming popular that they're having some very extreme and unwavering, very, very committed opinions about certain things that, in my opinion, it's okay to disagree with things that are wrong. It's okay to question even your own political party. And that's the reason why I put up here that I believe the Republican Party is doing exactly what they've accused the Democrats of doing for so long. And before you sit up here and try to say that I'm on Rumble and I'm a traitor and everything else, I am a conservative at heart. I wouldn't necessarily. I've gotten past the idea of being a Republican or a Democrat because I believe, me personally, I believe all of that stuff is very divisive. I believe that we should be able to vote. You can have your left and your rights, but we as American people, we should be able to vote for whoever we feel is going to be the best person for the job. It doesn't necessarily, I shouldn't have to choose a side. I shouldn't have to say I'm a Republican or that I'm a Democrat. I am an American citizen. And if I feel one person for one particular position is better suited than someone who's in my own party, I should be able to vote for that person. That's how the election process works. But when I say that Republicans are becoming Democrats, really think about why we voted for Donald Trump to become our next president and then our president before that. And think about the things that were promised to us, the things that were not delivered to us, and then we're just all of a sudden supposed to forget what was promised to us because other good things are happening. And to me, it's I'm getting to the point to where I believe that our government is technically the same. They're all in it for selfish gain, selfish reasons. I don't necessarily believe that Trump is in it all for selfish reasons, other than, and I hate to say it, to feed his own ego at this point. You know, the MAGA movement has become bigger than the Republican Party. And to me, it never should have gone that far. I believe that the MAGA movement should be supported within the Republican Party, but to believe that you can't be a Republican without being a MAGA supporter, that's just wrong. And we have a lot of that going on. We have a lot of the same things that we accused and claimed and even proved that the Democrats are doing. But now that we're in power as conservatives and Republicans, we feel it's okay to do the exact same thing. Our government is not as transparent as they want us to believe. But then when we speak out on these things, or when certain individuals speak out on these things, they're starting to label these people as crazy instead of allowing them to have their own opinions and allowing us as a people to think for ourselves. They're canceling their own, the same way Democrats did to both us and to people in their own party who dared to have their own opinions. You look at people like, we can name some of the ones that everybody knows about. Candace Owens. People are speaking out against her because, I'm not saying she's right or wrong about everything she says, but she speaks her own mind, and she's being criticized, even being labeled as crazy because she's bringing receipts, but those receipts don't agree with what's being said in the Republican Party. It doesn't favor the Republican Party. So where they once, lauded, I don't think that's the right word, but once they once lauded everything that she said and did, all of a sudden she's telling you she doesn't agree with something that's happening within her own party, and now they want to turn her out to be crazy. Same thing with Tucker Carlson. No, not a single Republican had a problem with what he had to say until he finally decided to disagree with a few things. And now, because it doesn't support the MAGA movement, all of a sudden he too is crazy. He is no longer the genius or the great speaker that they once claimed that he was. Tucker Carlson hasn't changed. The problem is that he's not afraid to call out the bullshit. So what happens instead is it doesn't favor the Republican Party. So the only thing that they can do is try to cancel him. And if you want more proof, look at what's happening with Marjorie Taylor Greene right now. Now, what are they doing? They are labeling her crazy. They're labeling her a far extremist and everything else. And then they want to sit up there and bash her because she decides to go on The View to share her opinions about what's going on in her disagreements with the Republican Party. Now, whether you think that's right or wrong, ask yourself, as devoted as Marjorie Taylor Greene has been to the Republican Party, why would she choose to have her voice heard on The View? And then not only that, why is it even a problem? I thought we fought for the right to free speech. I thought we fought for the right to have our freedom of expression. I thought we were defending the Constitution and and the Declaration of Independence. I thought we were defending the right to the protections that we placed on what our founding fathers created. At least that's what I voted for. That's what I thought we were getting when we put Trump into office. And I'm not blaming Trump. I'm blaming the people he has surrounded himself with. And I'm not saying he doesn't deserve some of that blame because this is his second term. So and we, yeah, I just don't understand how we as a people can sit up here and know that we've been duped by both sides, left and right, and choose to still feed in to the nonsense instead of listening to each other more. We are ending relationships. We are choosing not to side with the people that we've become friends with and that we've grown to love. We're choosing to end our relationships with them for a difference of opinion, for a few disagreements, which again goes back to the point of whether we are as transparent as our government wants us to believe. And I for one am 100% convinced that we are not. Epstein files, for example, you cannot tell me that they have been as transparent as they claimed they would be with the Epstein files. They have not. They know who those people are. They know who those predators are, and they are protecting them. Am I saying it's Trump? Am I saying it's Joe Biden or Bill Clinton? I'm not saying it's any one individual. I'm saying that they know. They know who those people are and they are choosing to protect them. And now we've gotten to a point to where even though Trump campaigned on it and he promised that he would release those files and that we would get to the bottom of everything, we are now being ridiculed. Anybody who questions the fact that those files have not been released, that there are problems with the stories that they're telling regarding the Epstein files, we are now being considered crazy, overly suspicious. We need to move on. And again, I just don't like what I'm starting to see from our Republican officials. I don't. I'm not going to sit up here and act like it doesn't mean I'm any less conservative than I have been, but I'm not going to sit up there and continuously. I said this before Trump became president for a second term. I said this when I began to question my political affiliations, and I decided to start thinking for myself. I will never let one man or one party tell me what I should be thinking. Tell me which direction I should be voting in. If I feel that something is wrong, and I'll tell you, I don't understand how does anybody in their right mind sit here and think that it's okay for Trump to do away or to try to convince Republicans to get rid of the filibuster. It is a part of this country. No, I do not like the fact that it is allowing the Democrats to continue the shutdown. I think it's very petty of the Democrats who lost the election to do what they're doing to try to have their way, which they will never get, by the way. They will not get. If you look at the issues that they want the Republicans to vote on in order to pass this bill and to open up the government, it is ridiculous what they are asking for. They won't tell you it, but this comes back to what I've said. You got to do your own homework. Why are the Democrats shutting it down? And let me, since we're just having casual conversation, let me see if I can find out why, what issues. Let me see. If you guys know, let me know in the comment section. I remember them. Let me see. What issues are keeping the government shut down? And the things that they said, it was a lot of foreign country based stuff. It was a lot of protections that they wanted to continue for people like the LGBTQ community, trans rights in some other country. It was some very, very stupid, idiotic. It was dumb. It was dumb shit that they wanted to include in the bill. The Republicans said no. Doesn't mean that they don't have their own set of dumb issues that they want to include in the bill. But the point is, what the Democrats are trying to get approved in order to open up the government is idiotic. It is straight stupid. And to be perfectly honest, I think they need to investigate these organizations that they are trying to have included in this bill in order to open up the government, open up the country, and fund our government. I think they need to invest those things because just like with what is it, USAID. I want to believe, I truly believe that there's something going on that's allowing the Democrats to funnel money back to themselves. So I'm just going to say they've already proven it once with USAID. They proved it twice because I don't know what happened to this investigation with who is it? This investigation with what is it? The blue, the party that the Act Blue is that what they're called? Act Blue. I don't know what happened with that investigation, but it went silent really quick. And what they found with Act Blue is that there were a lot of donations that were coming from people who then came forward and said, "I never made those donations." And when you add them up, it was millions and millions of dollars that they were funneling through Act Blue to wherever they wanted it to go. And but that investigation somehow went dead. So I'm just sitting up here like, if the Republicans are truly trying to get rid of, let's say the bad apples in our government, why are they going quiet on the things that we need answers for? They're only trying to, pump themselves up and make themselves look good, but they're not addressing the issues that I believe should be pretty easy to convict these these corrupt. I'm not just going to say Democrats. I'm going to say the majority of them are, but these corrupt individuals in politics that have done nothing but created inflation because of all the taxpayer money that they've stolen over the years and so forth. So I know I'm rambling. I'm a little bit tired, but I also can't sleep because of my own personal issues. But yeah, we have a lot to talk about moving forward, and we're only going to do, I don't know how prepared I am to do live sessions every single time. As we grow, I'm sure that I'm going to force myself to get a lot more comfortable in my skin to be able to have these conversations with you guys. But for the most part, we're going to be using the setup to do not necessarily scripted videos. I'm not going to have words on the screen that I'm repeating back and forth, but I am going to do my homework, do my research, give you my opinion on certain things, and hopefully get us to a place to where we can start to have these conversations. Even if I have to piss you off so bad that you feel like you have to join in on the conversation just to tell me why I'm wrong. I don't care about those things. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I don't get insulted. And for me to come here and tell you that that's why I'm here and then get overly pissed off when you accept the challenge and actually decide to get involved and interact with the stream. So, I said I encourage everybody, and if this is your first time watching me, please do me a huge favor, hit the like and follow button so that we can continue to grow as a community. I can make my studio look a lot more professional, even though I really, you guys can see me clearly. My microphone's good enough for you guys to hear the message, and that's more important than anything else, man. But the one thing that I'm going to promise you guys right here and now is that if I ever get big enough to have sponsors, I will never, I will never, you guys have heard me right here now, I will never take money from political sponsors or anything that's going to influence my decision to say something that I do not mean. If anybody ever sponsors me, it's because they just want to connect with my audience, or our ideologies line up perfectly, meaning, they're okay. I'm not saying that we have to agree on every last thing, but they're okay with me disagreeing with something and explaining why I disagree with that. I don't know how many people are. I truly believe that someone like Candace Owens is very genuine with her conversations. I truly believe that a person like Tucker Carlson and even Tim Pool, I believe that they are very genuine in their conversations. When you have people from these fanatics on the left or the right that hate you for any particular reason, those are the people we need to listen to more, because these people are not as crazy as they want you to believe. What they are is they're brave enough to have an opinion that is different than the popular trend, than what the government wants us to believe, to the point to where in this day and age, they're actually putting their lives on the line by sitting here speaking to you, speaking in front of you, and saying that is not right. We saw it with the Democratic Party, with the liberal agendas. We saw it. You literally saw all of these new laws and policies that were being created every time something went against an agenda that they were supporting and trying to push. We were being forced. We were in the beginning stages of being forced to use pronouns. We were, they were allowing our kids to get gender affirming care without our permission, and then still expecting us to foot the bill on the problems that were created by them. It's all ridiculous, man. I said Republicans are becoming Democrats. Democrats are not becoming Republicans. They're still in their own boat about a lot of things. But at the end of the day, man, I am. I said it before. Despite me going a little bit further right than maybe I should have. I've always said that I am for the people first. Yes, I am truly for America first. This is where I live. It doesn't mean that I'm just a die-hard nationalist, but I do believe you can't help others, meaning going the globalist route, until you can first help your own. Until we've found solutions to things like homelessness, or started to create solutions for things like homelessness. When we begin to treat mental illness for what it is, and not applauding it, and not trying to support it as something it's not. When we can support our veterans and make sure that they didn't fight for this country for no reason, and once they're done fighting, we're just going to up and forget about them. When we can provide for families that don't have money or food, and I'm not saying just giving it away, but providing with them with solutions that they can choose to be a part of. If you choose not to be a part of the solution, you can't cry about the things you don't have. And yes, in a way, I'm referring to, partly I'm partly referring to what's going on with EBT and SNAP. I've been on the side where I have need. In fact, I literally just got off the need for the need for EBT and SNAPs for my own family. It wasn't something that I was looking to live off of. It was something that I genuinely needed until my living conditions improved. But the one thing that I did do is I was always looking to improve my family dynamics, to improve the situation, the living conditions for my family, to where we didn't need food stamps. And it happened a couple times in the past, and it happened all the way up until now. And I found a way to provide for my family on my own. And that should be the goal and the purpose for everyone. Just sitting around the house getting fat off of food stamps and everything else, or not even necessarily getting fat. I'm not going to sit up here and throw out that judgmental thing or whatever it is that they're trying to label people as, but just sitting up there getting food stamps and not expecting to have to do anything for that money, and you're going to continue to live free and not get a job, not even look for a job. To me, that's just wrong, especially because you're expecting taxpayers to foot the bill when you don't necessarily, when the only reason why you need it is because you refuse to contribute, to go find yourself a job, and to start paying your own way. I don't agree with that. Anyways, man, like I said, when we start talking, when we start getting into these videos, we will have a little bit more purpose, a little bit more clarity of purpose about the things that we discuss. I will do my best to provide you with, to have a better presentation when I speak about things. We promise to have a topic and a conversation regarding that topic, and a conclusion to that topic, as opposed to just sitting here rambling with you guys. I hope you guys will choose to follow this. I hope that you find the information rewarding for you, informational at best, at the least, I should say, and that you will continue to follow and like us and see where we go from there. I know somebody just jumped on board, even though we're getting ready to stop. But again, I'm sorry if I hit notifications this late at night, but obviously you can't sleep and you're right here with me. So I do thank you for stopping by. If this is your first time and you want to see more of it, man, you can follow me at any of those up there for Facebook and X. We're going to be doing live Rumbles on Sundays, whether I am on the road or at home. We're going to do live streams. Our live streams will probably be on YouTube, Facebook, and everything else, but they're meant to be live on Rumble, so you guys can join us there. And then, of course, the QR code is going to take you to our community on Patreon. You don't have to be a paying member, but if you want to know, you want to get all the updates on what's going on with Mike Rock Uncensored, you want to join us for things like our gaming channel, you can be there. What else? We're going to be doing giveaways. I want to set up my own charity-based event that you can choose to be a part of. But this charity for me is something that I am doing because I want to do it, but I also, but I'm going to share it with you, just in case I want to share it with you in case you find it to be a worthy enough cause for you to be a part of. I'm tired of these charities that you can't see the back end of what they do. In case you don't know, most charities are only required by, well, all charities are only required by law to give at least 25% of everything they make towards the cause that they are raising money for. I want to create a charity to where that's actually, at the very least, kind of the opposite, where we are mandated within our own charity to give at least, because I understand there are costs for the things that we do. And I want to say, I want to be able to give 75%, if not 100% of everything we raise towards the charity itself. But I do realize that there are things like equipment, software, whatever it is that we are getting in order to support that cause. But I want to be able to give the money that we raise for those charities directly to the cause itself, because I'm tired. We are not, these self-serving organizations are duping the public and making you believe that they are doing something noble, when in reality they are only serving themselves, and the people who actually need that money, the people they raise that money for, are barely seeing a dime. So, I'll give you guys more information on that, but be sure to use that QR code. Join our community. It's absolutely free. Once we start getting members on board, that'll be my cue to start updating the posts, the blogs, let you know what's going on with me. We're going to be doing giveaways for people, and I'm going to be doing a lot of that with money out of my own pocket, because, I have been blessed to be where I'm headed. I'm not quite there yet, but once I am there, it is a complete blessing. The opportunity that I have received to work with this particular company within the trucking industry has been a complete and total blessing. And I am the type of person where I believe that when you receive a blessing, it is karma headed your way, and that you need to return that karma by blessing others if you have the opportunity. I'm not gonna be blessing people who don't want to do anything with with themselves. It's not for me to judge. It's just what I choose to do with the money that I have been blessed with. I want to help people who are trying to help themselves. And if you can get behind that, like I said, you can join me at that QR code, join the community. It's absolutely free. Support it if you want to, but just be there so that you can get up to date information on what's going on. You can also follow me here at Rumble, X if you're watching it from X, YouTube if you're watching it from YouTube, and then Facebook. I don't know why I still stream to Facebook. I just have friends and family there that I absolutely adore, and I've grown. I've made some really, really good friends on Facebook. So as long as I am able, I will not be giving up on Facebook. We will always have content to share with my family and friends over there. So anyways, and then of course there's Righteous. I'm not quite where I want to be with that. If you guys were to visit it right now, I don't even know why I put it up yet, but Righteous is going to be our merchandise, our merch store. That's where you're going to be able to get a lot of really cool content on T-shirts and mugs and other things that you can buy for yourself in order to support the community. It's not. I'm doing my best. I'm not going to say it's always going to be there, but I am doing my best to sell merchandise that is designed to bring people together. That is designed to be a symbol of unity as opposed to creating more division within our communities. I don't like, again, if I have to choose a side, I'm not going to choose left or right. I'm going to choose between right or wrong. And I believe that's the side that we should all choose to be on, to work towards being on the right side. And that's not politically, that's just morally or decisively, however you want to look at it, logically, however you want to look at it, man. We're here to make sense, man. A lot of shit going on in the world just doesn't make sense, and I don't want that for my kids. I'm sure a lot of you parents don't want that for your kids, but we can't expect our kids to make the changes or to provide solutions for the things that we messed up. We have to be willing to step forward and at least begin to introduce them to what those solutions are so that they can carry on and continue to make progress once we are no longer here or available. You guys have a great rest of your night. You're going to be seeing a lot more of me, whether you like it or not, because we're going to start creating our videos first thing tomorrow, at least until I start my training, and then I'll still be providing as many videos as I can. Um, but we'll see. I said I can't make any promises that I can't deliver on, but like I said, we shall see. You guys have a great rest of your night, man. I will talk to you guys again soon, man. Peace.